Good morning, dear students. Now it's our time for Unit 3.6. We are going to continue and finish this unit for this term. Unit 3.6 Vocabulary and Grammar. Let's start with vocabulary and grammar exercise. Use the phrases to complete the gaps. What is a welfare state? Let's check. It is a state which provides basic services such as health and education free of charge to its citizens. It is a welfare state. Okay, let's complete this exercise. In the UK, the National Health Service provides health care for everyone. Okay, next is a government authority that helps people with family or financial problems. What is it? Social services. Social services is a government authority that helps people with family or financial problems. Number 3, he looked at hundreds of flats and houses until he found some decent accommodation. Okay, number 4, people need our help and support to become part of the community. Whose people? Which people? Mentally handicapped. Mentally handicapped are the people who are disabled only in their minds. Okay. Next, when most people retire at the age of 65, they are usually entitled to a from the government. What do they take from the government? They take state pension. Number 6, someone who hasn't got a job can take something from the government. Unemployment benefit. Number 7, local authorities have limited amount of that they make available to families in need with nowhere to live. They provide what? Council housing. Excellent. Tenants in council houses pay of course, subsidized rent. Subsidized rent means rent which is a rent that they just pay some of it and the government pays the rest. Okay, so number 9, people with special needs who are unable to work can claim a disability pension. Pension is the money that you take from the government because you retired or you have a disability or you are not working. Families on a sometimes find it very difficult to pay their bills. Low income, they don't have much money. Okay, John had to go abroad to receive that he needed because his local health service was not able to provide it. So it is something related to medical treatment. Okay, let's move forward. Okay, here we are going to underline the correct word. Kate gets paid weekly. Weekly. Does she take money weekly or wage? It is of course wage of 175 pounds, while Paula receives her at the end of the month. So if it's related to week or day, it is wage. If it's related to month, it is salary, of course. Dan has got a job for the summer, only for the summer, so of course it is temporary. But his brother Craig is a full-time worker and a permanent or long-lasting, of course something that remains fixed, it is permanent. Number 3, although Jim's monthly earnings or profits, what do we take per month? Of course it's earnings, you work to earn your living, are not high, he gets a number of, like a company car. It is a perk. Perk is something that your company offers, like a facility. Like for example, if you are working for McDonald's, you receive 2 meals a day. If you are working for a great organization, you have a car, like a perk. just to use, it's not yours, of course, things like that. Okay, so it is perk. The amount of win, chances or bets on the stock exchange. Okay, when you are talking about stock exchange, we are talking about it is something that I bet. Okay, so here, bets on the stock exchange. Hopes to invest will gain a huge from it. Of course, it is gain a huge benefit or profit. Of course, it is profit when you sell something or you buy something and sell it later for a larger number, so you get a profit. Sam went on a training course to win or gain more experiences. Of course, it's called gain more experiences and help him get a promotion to increase his income. So income is something annual, so it is annual income. Tom put in a lot of extra hard work, of course, to benefit or receive the approval of his new employees. Of course, it is to receive. Okay, we are going to fit this vocabulary in these spaces. All his life, Jack Jones wanted to a career in motor mechanics. So, pursue. What's meant by pursue? To follow, yes, or chase. Okay, here, pursue here. All his life, Jack Jones wanted to pursue a career in motor mechanics. So when he finished school, to all the local companies. Of course, he applied, yes, to all the local companies. And after sailing through the interviews, he went to a lot of interviews. So after sailing through the interview, he was taken on as an apprentice like helper only, assistant with Smith and Sons. At first, his weekly, so it is, of course, wages were not very high. But after he had finished his training, he was, of course, promoted, and now he is working a permanent job, so he has a salary increase. He had been working there for 5 years when Mr. Smith decided to, Mr. Smith, the owner, decided to retire to the countryside and live off his pension on the money he retired. So he takes pension from the government. Here, Jack, what did he do? His eldest son, no, here Mr. Smith decided to do what his eldest son, as the new manager, of course, appointed him as the new manager, who then, yes, laid off. Laid off means decided to get rid of some of the workers, a number of employees, in an effort to streamline the business. Jack didn't want to be made redundant. He didn't want to be dismissed. So he decided to resign. Resign means to leave a job with your own decision, not because you are weak, not because you are ill, not because you are over 65. It's not because age. No, it is your decision to resign. Resign like because you got annoyed, because you had a problem with the job, and set up his own business. Okay, so these vocabulary as well are included in our curriculum for this term. Okay, rewrite these sentences using an appropriate modal, and of course we have covered the modal verbs present, past. Policeman can't go to work without a uniform. So can't go, it is according to the rule, so it is external obligation, so he has to wear a uniform. Number 2, it's not a good idea to talk to strangers. Here I am advising you, so you shouldn't talk to strangers. It's not allowed, it's forbidden, it's prohibited, so it's prohibition, so you must not walk on the grass. Is it okay if I make the phone call? Here it is a request. Can I make a phone call? Number 5, the race was difficult, but in the end she managed to finish first. This is, as I said before, when I talk about past ability, I can use could or was able or were able to. The difference is could is mentioned when I have a general ability, while, was, or were able to when I talk about a specific situation. So here it is a specific situation. The race was difficult, but at the end she was able to finish it. Number 6, I was wondering if I could send a fax. It is a request. May I send a fax? Always wear a helmet when you ride a bike. It's the law. Here it's not only the law, it is related to you doing something that may harm you yourself. So here it is must. You must wear a helmet when you ride a bike. It is the law. I'm not talking about the law that you have to follow. I'm talking about a law and something that you may get harmed with. I am sure Jane will be back soon. Look here, Jane should be back soon, or Jane must be back soon. Both are correct. Do you want me to help you with the boxes? Here. Would you like me to help you with the boxes? And perhaps Sally left for Madrid. It is possibility, so perhaps Sally Sally might have left for Madrid, and I followed might with have and pp because the sentence is in the past. Let's have something else. Okay. Intensifying adjectives. I can say deep or strong or heavy before some adjectives to give them strength. So here, when I want to say that he is sleeping very, I want to intensify the adjective. So I say he's in a deep sleep. When I talk about the traffic and I want to say, or I want to make it appear like more, I say heavy traffic. A feeling, I say deep feeling, or strong, of course, feeling. In deep thought, of course. Criticism, strong criticism or heavy criticism. Rain, heavy rain, of course. Opinion, strong opinion. Trouble, deep trouble. And when I talk about sense of something, I say deep sense of something or strong sense of something, and of course heavy sleeper. Although I say deep sleep, but I say heavy sleeper when I talk about a person. Okay, let's go again. Okay, these are some examples. Okay, let's use these prepositions to fill in these gaps. And of course you have to study preposition very well after certain verbs or adjectives in order to be used in the exam. Okay, how did each person feel? Proud, ashamed, scared, upset, angry, and so on. Okay, here Alice is ashamed and Sharon is scared. Let's listen. Alice: thank goodness. My brother felt sorry. Of course, it is for me, and took pity on me and did me the favor of lending me some money. I know I shouldn't depend, of course, on others to help me sort out my money problems and its ways. Okay, and it weighs on my conscience and a lot, but I had no choice. I was, of course, in financial trouble. Let's talk about Sharon. I was at complete loss, and look here, it's at, not in. And I didn't know what to do when I heard about the accident. Of course, on the news, not in the news. Take care, it's on the news. I was in a state of shock, and then I just burst into tears. I couldn't help but think the worst, and when I arrived at the hospital, they told me he was being operated on. He was suffering, of course, from internal injuries, and although I hoped for the best, I also feared the worst. Okay, these prepositions you have to know that depend is followed by on, in financial trouble, at a complete loss, and so on, because in the exam you might meet these prepositions between brackets and you have to choose from. Okay, here we have reached the end of our lesson today, and I hope that you understood something. This is for derivatives, and this is for homework for you. I hope you have enjoyed our lesson today, and I want to see you soon in another lesson. Thank you very much. Goodbye.